Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's Game 5 of the 2015 NBA playoffs. We are back with Troy West from allplayswin.com, who gave us a winner in Game 4, which brings his overall record against the spread in the NBA playoffs with us for free to 23-10-1 ATS. That's a 70% hit rate. Troy West from allplayswin.com. Thanks so much for being back with us.
Yeah, no problem. Indeed, 70% in the NBA playoffs. It's been a heck of a run for quite some time with your videos now, and we've just been absolutely killing it at the website as well. He had a really, really nice play on Game 4. Game 5, though, Pete, this is a really, really tough line. I think it's probably the toughest game to handicap of all of them so far, but we'll see what we can give out for the viewers out there.
Right. Well, let's discuss it. You can also feel free to pass if you think, there's no clear edge to be had as of right now. Feel free to pass. Of course, Golden State is an 8.5-point favorite. They're coming off the big blowout win. We saw that one coming. We kind of felt that Cleveland was going to be fatigued in that one. We were completely right. Now we got one of these big spreads again, right? 8.5 points. And then the total, 195.5. I suggested it in last game. Maybe we were going to see something a little bit higher scoring. We didn't. All 4 games have gone significantly under in regulation. Even though Golden State had a much better offensive game plan last game, the final score was still 10 points under this total, 195.5. The question is just, is Cleveland going to be fatigued again? Are they spent basically? And if so, another blowout by Golden State is entirely possible. And is a 5th straight under in a row in regulation possible? I think so. What's your take on this game, Troy?
Yeah, I think, like I said, this is a really tough one to handicap. There's so many variables that go into this game, Pete. Number one, obviously the fatigue factor. Cleveland does get 2 days off, but one of those days is going to be spent traveling from Cleveland over to Oakland. Obviously the same for Golden State, but we know how deep this Golden State team is. And Pete, really, you got to understand, it wasn't Steph Curry that won them the game. It wasn't Klay Thompson. It was Andre Iguodala. They got 9 points out of Klay Thompson. They only got 22 points out of Curry. One of these guys is due for a big game, and if they have a big game, I do think it will be a double-digit basketball game. But on the flip side, you got poor performances out of J.R. Smith. You got poor performances out of Dellavedova. Bad performance out of Shumpert. Those guys are due for a bounce-back game as well. In the end, I could see it going both ways. I could see Golden State getting this one by double digits, no problem. But how do you go against LeBron James to keep it within single digits? So for me, Pete, I hate to do this to everybody out there, but it's going to be a pass. No official play on this one. You know that we still are extremely invested with Golden State in the series. So that's kind of one of the main reasons for the pass. But if I had to bet it, I would go with Golden State coming home with all the pressure on Cleveland in this one. But for me, it's a pass, Pete. Really tough one to go for.
I feel like the biggest factor, though, was just fatigue on Cleveland's part. You could just kind of feel it. Dellavedova was going to be spent, and LeBron had been carrying it all on his shoulders. I feel like that was the biggest factor in Game 4. Do you agree with that? And if so, how much of a factor do you think it's going to be here?
No, I do think it was a huge factor. You just got to wonder, does the extra day help these guys out, or does it not? They're only really playing 7 deep right now. That's Cleveland, and 2 of those guys are post players, Tristan Thompson and Timothy Mozgov. So, I agree. I still do think fatigue could play a role. And then there's also the factor, Pete, Cleveland's going to need Game 6 regardless. I truly feel that way. So will they be more geared and focused for a Game 6 at home to force Game 7, or are they going to be more focused and geared up to try to get this one? Boy, like I said, a lot of variables going down.
That's exactly. I'm actually kind of the more we're talking about it, we're talking this out here, Troy. We're talking it out. I'm actually thinking, Cleveland's got to be looking at this. They're like, look, we got to win Game 6 and then hope for the best in a Game 7. I think they might actually just give this one away and be like, let's just save it all up for Game 6 and then see what happens in Game 7. I'm thinking maybe Golden State minus 8.5 might actually be a pretty good play here.
I've had that theory been brought up several times throughout the last couple of days, and I'd like to believe it. I really would. But to do that with LeBron James, it's just extremely difficult for me to believe that he would actually do that. But I think it's a wait-and-see thing for me rather than putting down my money on it. Like I said, if I'm not putting my money on it, I'm not going to suggest other people do it. So
I hear you.
It's a pass for me, but I definitely can see that theory coming into play.
I just feel like if Cleveland gets down by like 10 in the 3rd quarter, they're just going to throw in the towel, and then Golden State runs away with it,
Yeah, no, I could definitely see a double-digit game without a doubt. If it gets to double digits at halftime,
Yeah.
I think it's
Right.
game over from there. But we'll see. It's going to be a tough one. And like you said, on the total, Pete, it's obviously been a consistent trend to go under, but I'm just waiting for that, 110 to 100 game. I think it's bound to happen at some point, but it hasn't happened so far. Defense has really paid dividend, and we've seen a lot of guys miss a lot of shots throughout the series. That guys that are capable of knocking down big shots haven't been doing it.
All right, well, Troy West from allplayswin.com, 23-10-1 against spread in the NBA playoffs with us, but official pass for Troy in Game 5 here. We'll talk again for Game 6, Troy. Thanks.